Today we're starting a new series. We're gonna start a playthrough of SimCity. Pretty excited to get this started. I remember watching my brother play this when I was just a little kid. I've played a little bit of this new one, so I kinda know what's going on, but it's definitely gonna be a learning experience. I've already chosen our region to play in, Viridian Woods. It's going to give us 16 plots for cities and 4 great work locations, and I'm hoping to invite some people to play along with us at some point, so that should give us enough room. That being said, let's go ahead and get started. Name the region. This is always the hardest part for me. Let's go with some Final Fantasy reference. We're going to call it Midgar. We're going to make it a private region. We can always invite people later. We're not going to do sandbox mode. That's pretty much just creative mode, and it's not really what we're going for here. So the difference between this SimCity and the old ones is in the older ones you kind of had this whole square here to build your city. In the new one we have these little tiny squares are the individual city plots. So there's 16 of them in this region. So we just have to find one that we think is going to be kind of suitable for us here. That looks good. So we went ahead and claimed it, Matisse Plains. They're giving us 50 grand to start with. So let's get this going. It's going to take it a minute to load up here, but yeah, I'm really excited to start this series. I've been wanting to do this for a little while. I'm really hoping kinda later on down the road to invite some more people to play in the region to see how multiplayer kinda works. I've dabbled in it a little bit, but not too much. So it just took us down into our city plot. We have the main highway up here, and then the rail system down at the bottom, so that's all pretty, it's laid out pretty well for us here. Let's go ahead and start building a road here off of the main highway. What does this person want? Draw a road from the highway. Okay. Kinda wanna get it right in the center. Is that centered? Yes, we'll say it is. So, when we're first starting out, I like to use the high density avenue. It's the same road type as this guy here. If we used, for example, the medium density avenue, it would create an intersection, like right here, on this like grid line here. And that'd be bad. We want to keep this as free flowing as possible. It's like the main artery into our city right now. The second thing we really want to look at is the wind map. Right there. So it's all blowing up, which means we want to put all of our industrial and polluting buildings up towards the top so that the pollution doesn't get blown into the residential or commercial zones. So let's go ahead and take that guy off. I think we're just going to start with some low density roads for now. Nothing too crazy. One there. And let's do one there. So the first things you really need to worry about are these 3 little bubbles down here for power, water, and sewage. These are kind of like the three lifelines of your city, I suppose. If one of these ever goes out, like if we had a power plant and it got destroyed by a meteor storm or something, we'd be in really bad shape. So we're going to be keeping an eye on all of those throughout the series. For now, Let's just start with a wind power. Oh, look at that. Yep. Wind power plant. It fits perfectly right there. Very good. The next thing is going to be water. Oh yeah. Just put it right off to the side there. The water towers actually reduce land value around them, so we don't really want it around the rest of the city if we can help it. And the sewage is definitely going to reduce land value. This creates a giant amount of ground pollution, but we have it way off in the corner here. It shouldn't give us any problems. So with all that being done, I'd like to expand this down a little bit. Starting to run a little bit low on money. I think this is... yeah, this is going to be fine. So, just like the older SimCities, we have residential, commercial, and industrial. Again, we're going to want the industrial towards the top, with the commercial kind of being a buffer between the industrial and the residential. Let's get started. Some residential here. Commercial there. Let's start a building. Let's do industrial here and then commercial here. And make another road so we can add... budget problems loom. Oh gosh. Okay. Should be fine. Once people start moving in, they'll start giving us taxes and should be okay. Let's speed it up so we can get people in here. Ah, we did it. We did it. Great job. See all these guys starting to move in, moving trucks. I don't like starting with dirt roads. It's kind of the other starting option here. These actually generate ground pollution over time, so try to stay away from those if you can. So we got people moving in. You can see that we're back in the green, and we just got approved for town hall. Provide working water. Why is that not checked off? Everyone has water. Okay. Gotta find a good place for this. Kinda like it to be in the sort of centered in the city. Let's see what we can do about that. Do a T intersection here. Okay, I've got plans. I think I'm gonna put it right here. We're gonna demolish that, and I'm gonna put it right here in this T intersection. I think it's gonna be a good spot for it. And I think I'm gonna take out a bond just so that I can keep building here. It's not gonna cost us too much. 173 a day until we pay it all off. I think that's gonna be fine. I think we're gonna be okay. Is this? Yeah, that's straight. Okay. So I want to put it right... Yeah. Making all the people happy. Very good. Congratulations, Mayor. Your hard work has paid off. We can name our city. I don't know what to name it, so I'm not going to name it yet. Maybe we'll have somebody else do it. If you have any suggestions, go ahead and leave a comment with that suggestion. Business is okay. What's wrong? Nothing? Just complaining? Okay. So, I guess the first page that we should be, familiarized with is this one here. It's going to show us our expenditures and our income. So we're just getting income right now off of taxes for the residential, commercial, and industrial zones. And then it's going to show us everything we're spending. I think it's on a daily basis. I think that's right. On everything else. So, power, water, sewage, that's all costing us money. Government buildings and that bond we took out earlier. Once we get a specialization going, that's also going to show up down here, whether it be negative or positive. And we can look at that later too. I don't think I'm going to mess with the taxes at all. I think they're kind of just okay where they're at right now. But I do want to add... Yeah, I want to add some more people to our city. Oh gosh, is that? I'm just trying to get these roads straight here. Okay, I'll do it that way. That's fine. Let's go ahead and zone all of that for residential. The next thing we need to keep an eye out for is this page down here, the population panel. Not so much this one here, but in the detail tab, it's going to show us pretty much everything we really need to be aware of. So in this first column here, we have workers, low, medium, and high wealth workers. So we can see we have a total of 304-ish low wealth people in our city. 205 of them are working and 147 of them are unemployed. We have 205 total jobs, 0 unfilled, so we need to create more jobs for these people. Any industry or commercial buildings we make, they require all of these categories of people, so low, medium, and high wealth. Even these crappy little industrial buildings down here, they still want high wealth people. I guess they'd be managers or something of this place. So we're going to have to worry about that at some point. And it's kind of always a good idea to plan out your city a little bit. We're definitely going to need a low, medium, and high wealth zone in our city. It's kind of hard to mix them all together just because of how the land value works. So we're going to have to keep an eye on that, but I don't think I'm going to worry about it too much right now. So we can see we have a demand for commercial buildings. It's not super high. And then it's also going to give us some information on that in the population page again. It's going to tell us how many total goods our industries are sending to our commercial buildings. So we have 72, 0 unsold. But we have a bunch of unsatisfied people because all of these shops are selling out. We have total freight orders of 600, so that's what the commercial buildings are requesting from the industrial buildings. And then we have unfulfilled freight orders of 330, so that's the difference between what the industry is sending the commercial and what they're, you know, still lacking, I guess. So I think building more industrial buildings is going to be the right move here. Yeah, I think so. To get those freight orders up. I think people are requesting more commercial because they weren't able to, you know, buy things at those stores because the industrial zones weren't sending them enough goods, basically. So we'll test that and keep an eye on it and see if that works out or not. So one of the first things I really like building is a school. I usually build one of those before I build the fire station, the clinic, or a police station. The reason being is the earlier we can get our Sims educated, the less likely they are to commit crimes, burn themselves alive, or get sick. So it's kind of taking a proactive approach to this. That being said, these guys over here won't walk to school or drive to school. We have to give them buses. So we're just going to put a stop there, and a stop there. They're all very happy. Go get educated and be successful people. Look at it. I want to see something here. Look at the size of that bus stop. I never had a bus stop like that when I was growing up. This is what I would do. I would come out of, well, I didn't live in a trailer, but okay, I would come out of my house, I'd walk down the sidewalk, and I'd hang out right here on the corner, and I'd hope for the best. That's how I got to school. Definitely didn't have these giant bus stops. What's going on? Injured Sims. So we're taking care of nobody, and we have 1 death per day. That number should go down a bit now that they're going to become educated. Something kind of interesting about the education system in this game is nobody really has an age. Like, you don't have certain age groups going to grade school and then high school and then, you know, college. They all just kind of go to whatever educational facility they can, probably the closest one to them. So later on, once we get approved to build, you know, these higher education facilities, probably going to be bulldozing these. We'll see how it goes. So we're making a whopping $300 an hour. I would really like to increase that number. And the best way to do that right now would be, I think, to add more people. I think that's what we're going to have to do. So, is that straight? It's so hard to tell if... Yeah, we're good. Do that. And get more people in the city. So balancing, you know, the residential versus commercial versus industrial is kind of like this vicious cycle where the more people we add, the more jobs they require, the more industry we put down. We'd have, you know, the right number of low, medium, and high wealth people, and then when those people come in, they're going to demand shopping. So we're going to have to put more commercial buildings down that will require more goods to come from the industry, so on and so forth. So it's best to kind of add it little chunks at a time. I'm kind of expanding a little bit fast here, but I think we're going to be okay. What's going on, school? Classroom's full. Can we upgrade? Can we even afford to upgrade? No. So with these buildings we can create add-ons to them. Classrooms, school buses, stuff like that. And we're definitely going to do that. I really want to make sure we're paying attention to that and keeping on top of the education system in the city. Because once people get educated, these industrial buildings are going to upgrade to high-tech buildings, which will create less pollution, which will lower the amount of sick people we have in the city. So it's going to be important to keep an eye on that. The next thing to kind of keep in mind when we're building this city up, is we want to keep an eye out on traffic. So we have the road builder selected. It's going to give us kind of these colored outlines on the streets. Green is good, yellow is, it's okay. If we ever see any red, it means we have a problem. It means we have a traffic jam. And the way that people get around in this game, and the way that the whole system works, traffic is like the #1 thing we want to be on top of. For example, like, if this guy can't deliver his goods to this commercial building, then this industrial building will close down. It'll say, we have nowhere to ship our freight, even though they could probably just walk across this field and use a hand truck and deliver it. They won't do that. So if your traffic is bad, everything is not going to work and your city is going to fail. And now that I'm looking at this, I think we could probably pack more people into these two areas here. I think we could do that, but I don't want to add more intersections to this main road. I feel like we already have too many. We typically want to stay away from 4-way intersections. The low density streets aren't too bad because they're going to have a stop sign, which will allow all of the traffic to keep flowing through here. But it's definitely something we're going to keep an eye on as we start upgrading the density of these roads, because that's going to turn into a problem. What you want to avoid is having traffic lights at all of these intersections, because it's just going to ruin your day. Speaking of traffic, if this sim here wants to go shopping and there's a commercial building located close by, they will walk there, which will, reduce the amount of traffic you have going through your city. So it's important to kind of plan out where you want to put stuff. But it's not always as easy as saying, I'm just going to build all of my commercial and residential buildings really close together so that nobody's going to drive anywhere, because people are always going to drive somewhere. Like, this person, even though he's close to this commercial building, he's still going to drive to work. So it's helpful, but I don't know, it's hard to do in practice, I guess. Now that we have a little bit of money saved up, I want to look into specializations. We don't have enough industry to even do anything, so never mind. I'm gonna take a look at this and see if we're doing okay. See, we still have a ton of unemployed people. We're going to build more industrial, which is fine. We can do that. People gonna have jobs. People gotta work. So I think this is a pretty good start. I'm feeling pretty good about our little city here. And I think that, what do you want? You want a police station? He reports of some crazy guy that calls himself Dr. Vu threatening the region. Oh, okay. So I'm gonna say no thanks. We can build, where is he? Maxis Manor, and it'll give us the superhero Maxis band. I'm probably not gonna worry about that. Maybe once I get everything else set up, I might plop him down just to show you guys kind of what he does, but it's gonna be down the road, I think. So we just got enough industry to start building coal mines and ore mines, so I think next episode we might... Oh gosh. Places are burning down. Hey, is that fire? Yeah, probably. Low-tech factory guy. It's like a KFC in our city. Affordable store. They have funny names on some of these. Alright, I think that's going to do it for our first episode of the SimCity playthrough. If you like what you saw, keep checking back. We're going to be updating this daily, is what I'm hoping to do. If you have any feedback, go ahead and leave a comment, or... Excuse me. Yeah. We'll see you guys next time.